Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT as we continue your Gold Rush tournament tonight live here at NXT. But tonight, we are going to figure out who is challenging Thea Hale for the Women's North American Championship live at NXT Gold Rush. And now there's an opportunity for 4 women to step up to the plate, as it could be either Blair, Davenport, Lyra, Valkyria, Fallon, Henley, or Jacy, Jayne to get that opportunity tonight live here at NXT. And like we mentioned, not only the Gold Rush tournament continuing, but also the start of the Dusty Cup starts tonight live here on NXT. A lot of big names a part of that tournament, and the winning team will challenge for the NXT Tag Team Championships at NXT Gold Rush. And tonight, part of that Gold Rush tournament, we are going to be seeing Santos Escobar of the LWO taking on Chad Gable of Alpha Academy. Also, we're going to see ZARIA, from obviously making her NXT debut, one of the newest members of NXT. ZARIA takes on Gigi Dolin later on tonight, a part of the Gold Rush tournament, as well as Mysterio versus Shawn Spears, as well as Tiffany Stratton, the former NXT Women's Champion, takes on the debut of Stephanie Vaquer later on tonight. And here comes Fallon Henley. She had an opportunity by taking on Thea Hale recently, and she lost to Thea Hale, but for Fallon Henley, more opportunity she'd love to get a second chance against Thea Hale, and tonight if she can survive this fatal 4-way matchup, she can do that exact thing. But we can tell you it is not gonna be easy. And obviously none of these matches are easy for these men and women, but certainly no easy advantage going into this match of a lot of experience inside of this match. As here comes your next competitor down to the ring. It will be Lyra Valkyria. Lyra, we've seen a little bit here in Universe mode, and she continues to impress when she gets those opportunities. We'll see if she can walk out victorious here tonight. A lot of people have been raving about what she's been bringing to the table inside and outside of that ring. We'll see if she can continue to impress the WWE Universe here tonight on NXT. Also, like we mentioned before, Dusty Cup starts tonight. In your main event, it will be Chase University. It will be Andre Chase, the founder of Chase U, will be having his tag team partner himself and Duke Hudson, a part of that tag team matchup, as they will be taking on the War Raiders, Eric and Ivar. There for the longest time they were known as the Viking Raiders, but there is a name change, a part of that, so they are back to their former names, and that being the War Raiders. Big time matchup, man. I'm really looking forward to see how Andre Chase and company are going to be able to figure out the War Raiders. War Raiders are former tag team champions in their own right, so certainly going to be a hard-fought battle for sure. You got Vikings going up against literal, people that are a part of a university. As now here comes Jacy Jayne down to the ring. Certainly a lot of talent in this ring for sure, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this. This is the crop of NXT right now that is literally the future of NXT, or not just NXT in general, but the whole WWE as a whole. You never know when these men and women will be getting their shot on the main roster. You never know when Monday Night Raw, when William Regal might want something, or even obviously Theodore Long there on SmackDown. And certainly we won't be seeing anything adjustment-wise, unless, because right now there's no trades or anything going on between all three brands or just in general because of the rule that we had in the WWE draft, no trades or shakeups until after SummerSlam. And we'll talk about that a little bit more here in just a second, but it looks like our Fatal 4-Way match is about to start. Referee has officially rung the bell. Here we go. Jacy, Jayne, and Fallon, Henley going at it. Blair, Davenport, and Lyra, Valkyria going at it. But like I mentioned, part of the WWE draft this year, they all agreed that there would not be any, superstar shakeup / trades until after SummerSlam, the night after SummerSlam. We may eventually see something like that, but nothing like that. But if there is, there was a leeway in this. If there is a free agent out there, both, or I guess say all three, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will be allowed to sign free agents. As referee turned inside out by an inadvertent clothesline by Blair Davenport, and we'll have to wait and see how long that referee may be down and out for, as Lyra continuing to go after Fallon Henley here. And look at that power slam there from Jacy, Jayne. And we all know about the feud between Jacy, Jayne, Gigi, Dolin, former women's tag team champions. And certainly there is a feud going on between both of those women, but it's kind of been set to the wayside, as they've been kind of, ever since their Extreme Rules matchup where Jacy, Jayne won, there hasn't been much more continuing after that, but it doesn't mean there won't be something continuing between both of those women. It's not like it's just pushed away. It just, both of those women have been a part of matches for contenderships and a bunch of other stuff, but I guarantee you wouldn't be surprised if we saw another match between those women further down the road again. So again, Jacy, Jayne with a nice spine buster. Blair Davenport with some snake eyes to Lyra. Ooh, very close to putting away Fallon Henley was Jacy, Jayne right there. And down goes Jacy, Jayne. Nice snap suplex there from Lyra Valkyria. Look at those haymakers and those kicks there from Lyra, just bringing the fight to her. The kendo stick gonna get thrown in here, but luckily for Blair and Davenport, not having to get used on just yet. Man, just look at that arm getting wrenched there by Blair Davenport. Just that left arm, that left shoulder. It's not the best thing to be taken for sure. As now, off the ropes into a nice drop kick. Blair Davenport picking the right time, as now she's able to break up that pinfall attempt. Back and forth we go here. And if you're Thea Hale, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think would be the woman that you would want to, I would say, I guess, favor in the matchup? Who would you want to choose? I mean, all of them are threats. I mean, Thea Hale does have history briefly with Fallon Henley in the middle of the ring, so it doesn't mean that there's not an opportunity to maybe want Fallon Henley to win this matchup. As Lyra with a leg drop right there in the middle rope there, and Blair Davenport is out for the time being. Let's see if maybe Blair can get back in this matchup, as a Russian leg sweep there from Fallon Henley. Lyra Valkyria looking to finish this matchup. No, cradle, pinfall, but no. Jacy, Jayne breaks it up. Now this is where Blair Davenport trying to figure out what she needs to do at this exact moment. Oh, what a German. Got some height on that. And now Blair Davenport, she is done playing around, connecting a couple times. Lyra Valkyria wanting to get involved here, but no, she eats a big knee. Lyra Valkyria is in trouble. Everyone is down and out. This may be Blair's match to win at this moment. Back in the corner we go. Vicious uppercut, man. But like we said, it's going to be a phenomenal night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be also seeing and hearing from Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade after what seems to be a reunion from those two, after those two basically bitter rivals. It all started when Cora Jade broke up the group between those two. But ultimately, it seems like there's a reunion, and I would love to know what exactly has caused that reunion, as Fallon Henley looking to pick up a win, but only gets a one. But like I said, I would love to figure out what exactly is going on in that situation. What has caused Roxanne Perez to want to help out Cora Jade? As, oh my goodness, tossing her halfway across the ring. Luckily, it didn't land on the sledgehammer. Very close, though. Now, Jayne with that running choke slam. And now gonna look to go to work. Gonna look to put away Fallon Henley here. Down goes Fallon Henley. That facebuster drop kick takes down Jayne. Lyra Valkyria swinging for the fences here. And Blair Davenport looking to... Oh my goodness! That is going to break somebody's jaw. Holy mackerel. That was a knockout blow if I've ever seen one, ladies and gentlemen. And luckily, this matchup is continuing as Jayne with that spinning boot to the temple, taking down Fallon Henley. But Lyra Valkyria was up to her feet and continues this matchup for the moment. Lyra now. Looking for maybe some snake eyes. Referee is inadvertently in the way, but luckily for her, she's able to capitalize. And look at Blair right there to continue this matchup into her favor. Uh-oh. Blair gonna go up. Blair has her. Down she goes. Michinoku driver. Is this it? 3. Blair Davenport. The very underrated Blair Davenport gets herself a breakout moment, and we're going to see Blair Davenport, who at once used to be from the NXT UK brand, kind of got lost in the shuffle. She gets an opportunity for the NXT Women's North American Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're going to start the continuation, I guess, of sorts, of the Gold Rush tournament here on the men's side of things. It's going to be the LWO's Santos Escobar taking on Chad Gable. For that man, Santos Escobar, he's certainly his career in WWE. You know, he has that tag team championship win with Rey Mysterio when he joined up with the to basically form the LWO with Rey Mysterio. And essentially, after winning those tag team championships, you know, they haven't been able to really, I guess you could say, figure stuff out. But I guess it takes more opportunities and whatnot. I think certainly Santos Escobar could very well surprise a lot of people. This man is hella talented. And I think obviously a lot of people already know that. Rey Mysterio knows that as well. So he's ready for Santos Escobar to break out as well. Rey wants Santos to have his moment. He believes that Santos Escobar is NXT championship material. He believes he's a man that can run a company in the terms of being a top guy in the company. So we'll see how this is going to fare. Could you imagine if we have LWO members a part of, you know, semifinals into the finals, how crazy that would be? Especially with a world championship opportunity on the line, as there is Chad Gable, the leader of Alpha Academy. This is going to be a straight up wrestling matchup, and I love to see that. These are the type of matches you want to see here in NXT. NXT, pure wrestling at its finest. And a lot of these superstars that you see, they're building, they're part of the future. And a lot of these superstars, they've been around for a very long time. They've been a part of Raw, they've been a part of SmackDown. They've had those opportunities, and they come down to NXT, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It just, there's only so many superstars and only so many opportunities. But also, it's part of the draft. Raw, NXT, SmackDown, it's up to the general managers and what they seem like, what they really want to see on a roster. And certainly having the LWO and Alpha Academy here in NXT, it's something great to see. As the referee rings the bell, here we go, Santos versus Chad Gable here. And for both Chad Gable and Santos Escobar, the LWO and Alpha Academy will be a part of the Dusty Cup as well. As Cruz del Toro and Hakeem Wilde will be a part of the LWO part of the tournament. as well as Chad Gable's side of things will be Akira Tozawa and Otis, a part of Alpha Academy. Nice sit-out powerbomb there. Can Chad Gable pick up a win here early? No. Very close. Those sit-out powerbombs can be very efficient at times. Look at Gable going to work here. Technically, Sound Machine is Chad Gable. Type of wrestler that, a lot of people believe that he's, I guess you could say, the version of Kurt Angle for our generation. It's a pinfall opportunity. Will this be enough? Oh, very close to a 2 count. This is what Gable needs to do. Keep Santos Escobar down so he can't show you that lucha libre type of wrestling. And now Escobar's going to make him pay because Gable was trying to necessarily get the crowd behind him. And now Escobar's trying to get the crowd behind him. Both men are fan favorites. Both factions are fan favorites. So, it almost feels like it's a 50-50 at the moment. A lot of great talent in this ring. A lot of great talent in this pool. Let's hear Gable. Look at this. Oh, nice pinfall opportunity here. Is this going to be enough? No, just a 1 count. It's not going to be easy to put away a man like Santos Escobar. Both Escobar and Santos Escobar, Escobar and Chad Gable are former tag team champions. Gable has been multi-time tag team champion. Santos has that former Raw tag team championship win under his belt. So it wouldn't surprise me if we saw something like, them to add another championship down the road. As here we go, Escobar's been busted open, and now Gable with the submission hold right here. We have a perfect angle, but looks like Escobar able to slip out of it. And Escobar going to try to use that momentum of just getting out of it to his advantage. And sometimes that sign of their own blood kind of awakens them. It's that fight or flight mode that they face now. As into the corner we go. What does Escobar have in store? Is he thinking about maybe going high risk here, maybe at all? Big clubbing blow. Escobar's fired up here. This could be the moment he needs this. Oh my goodness. Did you see the whiplash of Gable just getting bounced off that turnbuckle? Not the best feeling in the world at all, pardon me. As Escobar now, what does he have in store for Chad? Chad Gable, here we go. Down goes Chad Gable. Shoulders are down. 2, 3. Santos Escobar advances into the Gold Rush tournament, and later on tonight it will either be his LWO brother Rey Mysterio or Shawn Spears that he'll be facing later on in the Gold Rush tournament. Big win for Santos Escobar tonight over Chad Gable. For the longest time, people thought Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade could never be on the same page again. They saw the betrayal, the broken trust, and they thought that was the end of the story. But in this business, you learn one thing real quick. Never say never. Cora and I, we've been through together, best friends, worst enemies, 2 women who fought tooth and nail to be the best of the best in this division. But after everything, after all that pain and all the scars, one thing's never changed. We pushed each other to be better. So when I saw Cora standing by my side again, I knew something was different. I knew that maybe, just maybe, we were stronger together than we ever were apart. So yeah, I know what everyone's thinking. How can you trust her, Roxanne? Why would you team up with someone who's turned her back on you? The answer's simple. Because I see the fire in her eyes, the same fire that I have. And if you think for 1 second that Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez are back just to play nice, nah. We're here to take over. We're here to remind everyone why we're the future, and now we are the present. So the rest of this NXT Women's Division, whether you like it or not, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez are back, and we're coming for everything. And when we say everything, I do mean everything. It starts a part of this Gold Rush tournament with me winning this Gold Rush tournament. Fortunately for Cora Jade lost to Charlotte Flair, but she'll bounce back. But I can tell you one thing. We're coming after that NXT Championship as well as those NXT Tag Team Championships. And also, one last thing I've talked to Adam Pearce, and we will be facing off with Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart for the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships at Gold Rush. So one way or another, we're walking out victorious, and we're also walking out with the Tag Team Championships. Now don't mind me, I'm going to hand this microphone over to Cora Jade. You know, the funny thing is how life works sometimes. 1 minute you're standing over someone with a steel chair in your hand, and the next you're standing right beside them, ready to go to war. Life's unpredictable. This business is unpredictable. And yeah, I know you're all thinking, why Cora? Why would you want to team up with Roxanne Perez after everything that you did to her in the first place? I'll tell you why. Because times change people. Time makes you see things differently, and whether I wanted to admit it or not, Roxanne and I were always brought out the best of each other and the worst in each other. We fought, we bled, we broke each other down, and yet here we are, standing side by side. See, to think I had to do this alone, that I just had to fight my way to the top with no one by my side, but then I realized, why fight against someone when you could fight with them? Roxanne isn't just some random person. She's the one person who truly understands what it takes to survive in this division. And now we're done fighting each other. Now we fight together once again. So to be every woman in that locker room, yeah, we've been your problem before, but now we're your worst nightmare because Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade are back as a team, and this time we're not stopping until we run NXT. Last week I lost to Charlotte Flair. That was a fluke victory by Charlotte. I know she's the NXT Women's Champion. She calls herself the queen of this division. But I guarantee you, in another match against me, Charlotte is not beating me. And to our matchup against Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart, the answer is simple. Ladies, don't be holding those championships too long before we take them directly from you. Roxanne and I are former Women's Tag Team Champions, former NXT Women's Champions. We've accomplished a lot more in our careers compared to Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart. Yes, Tegan Nox, a former Women's Champion and the first ever Queen's Crown winner. But what has she done since? Nothing, exactly, but win the Women's Tag Team Championships. She's irrelevant as hell. Generation of Jade and the generation of Roxanne is officially back, and the women of NXT have to be on the lookout. And this may not be the last time you guys see us tonight, because certainly there's a certain way we would love to see this Gold Rush tournament end. Wow. Well, certainly, ladies and gentlemen, if Gold Rush wasn't already going to be a big-time premium live event for you, well, we've added another matchup, apparently. Adam Pearce is adding Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade to the women's tag team division, and we'll have them taking on Tegan Nox and Shotzi Blackheart for those NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. But there is ZARIA. She makes her NXT Women's debut here tonight as she is a part of the Gold Rush tournament here of the women's side. And tonight she takes on Gigi Dolin, a former women's tag team champion here in NXT. So this isn't going to be a pushover matchup for the debut of ZARIA tonight. This is going to be a battle. This is going to be a straight up war, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely type of matchup you want to see. Something that's very unknown. Don't know what to expect unless you've watched ZARIA on the independent scene. As now here comes Gigi Dolin. We have addressed her issues with Jacy Jayne before, and we'll see if, like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw those two go at it once again. They did have that Extreme Rules match where we saw Jacy Jayne beat Gigi Dolin, and Gigi Dolin said, hey, we're far from being done, but, ever since then, we haven't really seen those two really go at it. So maybe they're taking some time to focus on their singles career instead of each other. So I don't know. You just never know when it comes to these women's divisions, because it's just the amount of talent that is in this women's division. I feel like I'm a broken record when I say that, but it's amazing the amount of talent that we have here in the women's division. And this Gold Rush tournament for both the men and women really show you what talent we have here in NXT. And you can make an argument that the women's side is more, I guess, more prominent. I guess more big names compared to the NXT side of things. But here we go. ZARIA versus Gigi Dolin here tonight here on NXT. As the referee rings the bell. And NXT actually could be adding a big name if a certain result happens there at the King of the Ring side of, or I guess you could call it the NXT, or not the NXT, but the King and Queen of the Ring pay-per-view. If Drew McIntyre loses his match, he has to leave Monday Night Raw, and if he plans to sign anywhere, he would have to go to NXT to wrestle. He wouldn't be able to sign to SmackDown. And Drew, he said, "Hey, I don't mind wrestling in NXT, but sure as heck don't plan on losing my matchup here as a single leg Boston Crab here, submission hold, single leg submission, but down goes Gigi Dolin and has to continue to go back to work here." As ZARIA gonna go to high risk here, the high risk district. Oh, what is she thinking? Oh, look at that moonsault! The height of that bad boy, she got absolutely up there. As now ZARIA with a big clothesline, down goes Gigi, and now ZARIA gonna go to work here outside. Oh, going for a clothesline, almost thought we were gonna see a double clothesline there for a minute. It's a big stomp to the face. Ooh, absolutely brutal. And now, what is ZARIA? Oh, a little bit of a crossface of sorts. This is not where you want to be if you're Gigi. Gigi could tap out here, but it wouldn't affect the overall part of this matchup, so I guess it'd be totally up to Gigi if she were to want to tap out. As now Gigi gonna toss ZARIA back in the ring. This would be a big win for ZARIA if she's able to come in this tournament, pick up a big win over a former women's tag team champion, a part of this Gold Rush tournament. Here we go off the ropes, ZARIA. Oh, tripping her, taking her down momentarily. Pinfall attempt. Shoulders are down. Referee is right there, as you can tell on your screen. But a strong kick out. Look at ZARIA's expression. She can't believe it. A little frustration brewing here. And now, oh, again tripping her with that takedown. I know. What is she thinking about doing? Maybe a little bit of a surfboard. Gonna stomp her out, maybe. Oh, goodness. Yeah, kind of see what ZARIA brings to the table, part of this women's division. A lot of big things have been said about her, but you just don't know until you see it for yourself. As now ZARIA telling Gigi Dolin to get up to her feet. And now look at, big flying forearm strike. But Gigi Dolin right back up to her feet. As if that forearm didn't really do too much, but now another one. But this time to the back of the neck. Referee once again right there to make sure everything is called right down the middle. And again, strong kick out. And as you can tell, ZARIA a little frustrated right now. Maybe those type of maneuvers did a lot for her on the independents, but right now it's taken a lot more to put her away. As Gigi continuing to look impressive here. Gigi gonna hit her. Bam! Big takedown there from Gigi Dolin. Is this it? No! ZARIA kicks out. And look at Gigi Dolin. She's absolutely confident right now. She is right where she wants to be in this matchup. She could be moments away as a big spear, changing the trajectory of this matchup. Referee in the possession, and ZARIA with a spear out of nowhere, picks up the win over Gigi. And from what we saw tonight, ZARIA just bringing out a little bit of what her moveset is going to be here in NXT. Big win in her NXT debut by ZARIA. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, as it will be Shawn Spears making his way down to the ring, part of this first round matchup here in the Gold Rush tournament. This will be the last men's first round match before we start getting to the next round here in NXT. Going from 8 superstars down to 4. Be those lovely, almost can call them the semifinals of sorts. As Shawn Spears takes on the leader of the LWO, Rey Mysterio. We saw earlier on tonight Santos Escobar of the LWO knock off Chad Gable. So the next matchup here for the LWO very well could be, we could see Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio in the semifinals. The other matchup right now that is confirmed, it's going to be Javion Evans taking on Dragon Lee. That match is going to be what the kids call bouncy. Javion Evans defeated Logan Paul, as well as Dragon Lee defeated Oba Femi. And Oba Femi, despite getting his NXT North American Championship shot against Carlito coming up at Gold Rush, he will not obviously advance part of the Gold Rush tournament due to losing to Dragon Lee. Dragon Lee, the man's a stud in the middle of the ring. Doesn't matter if you're a big guy, small guy, whatever it is, Dragon Lee can deal with the best. But I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Both of these men have been in this business for a very long time, and they've studied each other. They know what to expect. So really looking forward to seeing Mr. Shawn Spears and this man right here, Rey Mysterio. One of the best to ever do it. He is a WWE Hall of Famer, former Raw Tag Team Champion, former United States Champion, and he's looking to win this tournament and get himself a guaranteed championship matchup. Anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen. Especially like a man like Rey Mysterio to be the top guy of your brand. Certainly would be a great thing to see for your business. And there's that big signing for Monday Night Raw, bringing Penta on over apart from free agency. Penta's apparently the generation of Penta leading the future of the Lucha Libre brand, as Rey Mysterio and Mr. Shawn Spears kicking us off here. But I think that's got to be a big thing for obviously Penta to be called one of the best Lucha Libre wrestlers of all time, with the amount of matches he's had in his career. We're already having a frog splash. That could be enough. Could you imagine if that put Shawn Spears away already, how that would affect Shawn? Is Rey Mysterio trying to get this crowd behind him with that LWO chant there. And now Rey again, stomping on the ribs. We may know what Rey Mysterio wants to target right now. It seems like it's the ribs. It's that midsection, as again going for the frog splash, going to the well one too many times. And now Shawn Spears is going to show you that vindictive, that nasty side of him. Obviously, growing up in WWE was Shawn Spears. Went by a whole different name, called himself the Perfect 10 and everything. But eventually, things just didn't work out here in WWE. He was, on SmackDown doing stuff like that. It just didn't work out. And he would leave WWE, try to transform himself, be rather successful to an extent. But then, obviously, he joined NXT trying to make a name for himself so far. And, obviously it's a short stint still here in NXT. But, if he's able to perform good in this tournament and get himself a future NXT Championship matchup, certainly it's going to go in the trajectory of where he wants to be. As that corkscrew takedown of Shawn Spears. And Rey's doing a phenomenal job for the most part, trying to keep Shawn Spears out of check here. Uh-oh, looking for that tornado. DDT spiking. Shawn Spears on his head. Referee right there in position. Will this be enough? Center of the ring. But no, just a 1 count. And now Ray. High risk from the second rope. Frog splash right to the lower back. And Ray's done a great job of focusing on that lower back / rib section of Shawn Spears. Doing everything in his power to keep him off guard. And now Rey Mysterio going for the moonsault. And now Spears looking to capitalize. This is his opportunity. If he wants to do something, he has to do it now. Rey, for probably 80, if not 90% of this matchup, has been all him. As now, what is Dillinger thinking here? Almost like an avalanche attitude adjustment from halfway across the ring. Is that enough for Shawn Spears to advance? No. Spears cannot believe it. Spears trying to pull out everything out of his bag of repertoire and hitting a maneuver that we've all seen in WWE done by one of the greatest of all time, John Cena. It just didn't work out for Shawn Spears, as now Mysterio going to look to capitalize. Oh, big clothesline from Rey. Here we go. Oh, look at Rey Mysterio. That is vintage Rey Mysterio. You gotta love what Rey Mysterio brings to the table. Pinfall opportunity. Is this enough again with the hook of the leg, but a strong kick out. The matchup continues. And now we got ourselves a good old-fashioned brawl going on. What will it take to put these gentlemen down and away? And now Mysterio, big time Hurricane Rana into the pinfall. Is this enough? No, so close, but just a 2 count. And now Rey gonna go high risk again. Will it work out? Yes, it does. Frog splash again. Can Shawn Spears survive this one? No, he cannot. Too much damage done to the chest / midsection, and Mysterio is going to war with his former his other member of the LWO, that being Santos Escobar. Next week, it will be Dragon Lee, Javion Evans, Rey Mysterio, and Santos Escobar. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your last women's match of the first round. Here comes Stephanie Vaquer, and I know I may be butchering that last name, and I do apologize. It will take me some time to get that last name under wraps. Certain superstars, it takes me a little bit longer than others, but we will get Stephanie's full name all figured out after a while. But Stephanie, she has a big match, as this is her NXT debut. This is a big matchup for her, and she's taking on a woman that just recently lost her NXT Women's Championship, as well lost her undefeated streak, but she will have a rematch at NXT Gold Rush for the NXT Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, who is also a part of this Gold Rush tournament. Charlotte defeated Cora Jade recently last week here on NXT to advance. And if, let's say, Tiffany Stratton were to win tonight, she would take on ZARIA later on next week. Next week here on NXT, it is going to be Charlotte Flair taking on Roxanne, one-on-one, a part of that women's side of things, as well as Santos Escobar versus Rey Mysterio, as well as the other matchup, Javion Evans taking on Dragon Lee, which I'm really looking forward to that match. That is going to be a high-flying matchup, and I really don't know who will walk out winner, but here we go. Stephanie versus Tiffany, live here on NXT. And the matchup is starting. Let's see how this matchup is going to fare. What does Stephanie bring to the table here? She's known for being a badass on the independent scene. We'll see what exactly has brought her to the table. ZARIA winning earlier on tonight. We saw Julia last week here on NXT. She did fall up a bit short, unfortunately for herself, losing to Roxanne. And then ultimately with Cora Jade attacking her, and then Roxanne, it seemed like having Julia's back, and then ultimately Roxanne turning her back on her and hitting her with a chair. So, certainly, I don't know if Roxanne and Cora Jade will regret what they did, but we'll come to find out, especially with us having Tegan Nox, Shotzi Blackheart defending those tag team championships against Roxanne and Cora Jade. You just never know what may happen here in NXT as Tiffany Stratton is throwing down Stephanie's head way too many times, and it seems like Tiffany is just working on that head and neck area. Seems like it's a major focus in this. And for Tiffany, obviously she wants to get her head right. Obviously she wants to be the first ever Gold Rush Women's, you can't say champion, but winner of the Gold Rush tournament, the first ever NXT Queen of the Ring. But she's going to have to go through a lot of big names to do that, as over the top rope goes down Stephanie. And we'll see if Tiffany decides to do anything about it, and it looks like she will. And sometimes it's a good idea and sometimes it's not. It just really depends, as she just tosses her back inside the ring. She doesn't want to play any more games here. She wants to pick up a big win, because obviously, it's not going to be easy. Her next round opponent very well could be ZARIA if Tiffany Stratton's able to outlast Stephanie tonight. And so far, so good when it comes to having the momentum in this matchup. But as soon as I say that, Stephanie drops Tiffany right on that top rope, and then obviously with that leg drop. And now Stephanie with the momentum. Let's see if she can continue this right now. It's a big reversal from Tiffany. I wonder what Stephanie was really thinking there. It's a big snap suplex into the pinfall. Will this be enough to put her away? Ooh, very close. I bet Tiffany Stratton cannot believe it, but certainly you gotta keep on doing your thing. Is now Stratton, high risk, high reward, swanton bomb there to Stephanie. Is this enough? 2. No, strong kick out. The matchup will continue, and we'll see if how this goes for Tiffany. If she gets frustrated, or if she's gonna just continue to put her head down and continue to bring the fight to Tiffany to Stephanie. And now look at the corkscrew right there in the corner. Shoulders are down. 2, 3. Tiffany Stratton running right through Stephanie here tonight. And so that means Tiffany will take on ZARIA, and Charlotte will take on Roxanne Perez in the semifinals of next week's NXT. Big win for Tiffany. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your main event, as it is Chase University's own Andre Chase and Duke Hudson. It looks like they'll be coming out separately, possibly it looks like, as Chase University's own Andre Chase, the leader of Chase University, will be making his way down to the ring. We briefly heard himself and Duke Hudson talking last week how extremely proud of Thea Hale, and they honestly a little bit of surprised how quickly and how successful Thea Hale was with becoming the first ever women's NXT North American champion. But they said, hey, we knew Thea Hale could do it. We just weren't expecting her to get it done so fast. And ultimately, we know who her opponent's going to be live there at NXT Gold Rush, that being Blair Davenport. This is going to be a big match for young Thea Hale. Blair Davenport has been here in WWE for quite some time. She's been wrestling way before WWE as well, so certainly this is the time for a big test for Thea Hale. A big, you could say, classroom test. Is Duke Hudson bringing out a trophy of sorts? Looks like it says champ on it. Maybe it's a little custom statue for Thea Hale, maybe. But nonetheless, big tag team matchup, as this is the start of the Dusty Cup. Other tag teams we're going to see in this lovely tag team tournament is the LWO Alpha Academy, LWO Cruz del Toro, Hakeem Wild. Alpha Academy side of things, we're going to see the likes of Akira Tozawa and Otis. That should be a pretty good start to things, but obviously it's not just that. You're going to have the likes of the D'Angelo family. You're going to have Stax and Tony D'Angelo. You're going to see Gallus. You're going to see Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Obviously, you're going to see the War Raiders tonight. And also, you're going to see Axiom and Nathan Frazier a part of this tournament as well. So, a lot of stuff going on to already a star-studded card, ladies and gentlemen. And now here comes the War Raiders, ladies and gentlemen. Finally getting an opportunity here in NXT. It's been they've been drafted here to NXT, looking for that opportune time that Adam Pearce will start giving them some matches. And hey, you know what? If Eric and Ivar tonight, this could be the start of something to get them back into championship contention. Obviously, the winner of this whole Dusty Cup will not only be the Dusty Cup champions, but also will be able to take on the New Day for the NXT Tag Team Championships. So, I mean, certainly it is a major thing to obviously win the Dusty Cup, but to also go after the Tag Team Championships, that's one of the major things that they're focused on. Not just obviously winning the Dusty Cup. And for the most part, the card is pretty stacked from top to bottom for the lovely Gold Rush, not only tournament, but the Gold Rush pay-per-view. And we'll see who will be the first ones to advance. As here we go. Ivar versus Andre Chase. Your main event before the face-off between Ethan Page and Kenny Omega. Hopefully it does not turn into what a lot of us are expecting to be a possible fight. Certainly you just never know how that's gonna fare. As a brutal DDT there from Ivar, bringing the fight early on. Look at those vicious early on strikes there to Andre Chase. Chase has got to figure out something early on. Maybe you tag in Duke Hudson. Maybe let him, the powerhouse of the group, maybe, just maybe, let him do some work, and then maybe throw yourself in there afterwards. But we'll see how Chase U decides to strategize tonight. And this is a tough test, man. This is not like it's some, random tag team we got here in Orlando, Florida. No, this tag team is proven, looking to get more opportunities. Like we said, they are former tag team champions here in WWE. And I think for the War Raiders, an opportunity is all you need to showcase what you have in the arsenal. Oh, goodness, an awkward kind of clothesline there. And now here comes Duke Hudson. Let's see if the big man Duke Hudson can get themselves back inside this matchup here. Oh, kidney punches there from Duke. And now I'm going for a Irish whip. Didn't work out in the favor at first, but obviously now it did. Pinfall opportunity. Shoulders are down, but not even a 1 count. It's going to take a lot more, ladies and gentlemen, to put down a big man. As look at that swinging side slam there takes down Ivar. As here comes the other War Raider. Here comes Eric, and the freshest man in this matchup. And look at these strikes. Absolutely vicious. And I gotta believe, ladies and gentlemen, his knee strikes have to be one of the best in the entire wrestling world. His strikes, it feels like it just really takes him out. As gonna show that Viking experience there. Down goes Duke Hudson. Is that it? But not gonna go for the pinfall, but that finishing maneuver called the Viking experience there almost very well could have been putting away the match, but deciding to have this matchup continue are the Viking or the War Raiders. A brutal maneuver. Down goes Duke Hudson. But again, the War Raiders again letting Chase University stay in this matchup, and we'll see if it continues as Andre Chase with that brutal neck breaker into a clothesline. And look at back and forth. This is what Chase University needs to show you that heart, that charisma, show you that there's that no-die attitude. But again, sometimes you you just do too much, and what exactly just happened? You get taken out by the War Raiders. And now into the corner we go. Here we go with another tag. Uh-oh. This ain't going to end well. Someone's going to get powerbombed. Oh, my goodness. Look at the height on that bad boy. Referee is right there. Duke Hudson, though, breaks it right up just before there was a attempted pinfall. And Andre Chase may not know where he's at. He was at least probably 8 foot up in the air, if not a little bit more. Going for that clothesline, well scouted from Chase University's own Andre Chase. Now let's see if Ivar can continue to dominate from the get-go here. As a big suplex takes down Andre. This is the type of matchup where the longer you go, does it really favor the scholars from Chase University? I mean, obviously they're a little bit not as big as the other guys, so might have a little bit more stamina when it comes to these longer matches, but I don't know if there's any certain one person that has the advantage. But just like that, the War Raiders knock off Chase University. It was a feel-good moment for a little bit, but brought them back to reality as the War Raiders advance, a part of the Dusty Cup, ladies and gentlemen, and they brought the war to you tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your face-off. Kenny Omega and Ethan Page. And Omega, he is out here in his wrestling attire. He isn't expecting a war. He's not expecting this to go the easy way. So he is ready for this to go down. Kenny Omega, Ethan Page. 1-on-1 live at NXT Gold Rush. But certainly it is going to be a whole different ball game when it comes to there. As there's Ethan Page, ladies and gentlemen, and certainly Omega does not notice what is coming behind him. As just like that, Ethan Page has come out here and he is sending a message. No one is giving him a chance at NXT Gold Rush. They believe one of the best to ever do it inside of a wrestling ring will run right through Ethan Page, ladies and gentlemen. And Ethan Page will not sit here lightly. And oh no, oh my goodness, right there on the ramp. You gotta be kidding me. This is just horrendous. We need some help out here. It's again. Can we seriously get some help out here, ladies and gentlemen? This is not what I was expecting, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that this Ethan Page guy has gone absolute psycho again. What in the hell are we witnessing here, ladies and gentlemen? Again, absolutely vicious with these strikes. Ethan Page is meaning something, and he has taken this bout to make it even more, I guess you could say, personal, I guess. Doesn't like that he is not getting the proper props that he is getting. And right now, as you can tell, Ethan Page, he's not done. He is snapped. He is beating the absolute snot out of Mr. Kenny Omega. But look, Omega finally figuring out something here. Uh-oh. Kenny Omega, looking for the Omega driver. Down he goes. Finally, after all of what just happened, Kenny Omega laying out Mr. Ethan Page, and now it seems like maybe Kenny Omega gonna get the upper hand here. Ethan Page is and you know what? Maybe I'm regretting this a little bit, as now, Oh my God, he just power bombed him right on the damn apron. This is not what I was expecting. Certainly Kenny Omega, he was expecting something. And, well, gladly, he's already in his wrestling attire. Ethan Page wrestling in what you could say more of a casual attire. But right now, they are just beating the snot out of each other. And Omega has a busted open face. As, oh goodness, Omega just stomping away again. Trying to at least maybe break the nose. As he goes over and over again as the referee in the middle of the ring. Not stopping this as... I mean, what else is he going to do about it, I suppose? It's a brutal takedown there of Ethan All Ego Page. I can only imagine what we're about to see now. As Omega tossed into the hardest part of that announce table. And this is only going to go one of two ways, ladies and gentlemen. And we all probably know that someone very well could be going through that table. It's a huge super kick there from Kenny Omega. Ooh, what a brutal, and I do mean brutal, forearm strike, ladies and gentlemen. And now, well, like we said, we knew somebody was going to be going through this table. And it seems very well it could be Mr. Ego himself, Ethan Page. And now Omega, what is Kenny Omega doing? Omega, oh no, Kenny Omega just put himself through the damn table. Ethan Page moving out of the way. I don't even know how the hell Omega's moving, but we're about to see. He's not going to be moving any longer as he just gets tossed like an animal. Kenny Omega tried to go high risk and he ends up eating dirt for it. Ethan Page sends a message to Kenny Omega tonight.